I'm Jay Feely, hosting for Rich. I got my good buddy Brian Baumgartner here. You know him as Kevin from The Office. Is it weird still to get people referring to you as Kevin? They come up to you on the street. I've seen it firsthand. They come up and they call you Kevin.
Well, yeah, what's awkward
Kevin,
is...
Kevin!
Yeah, if I'm standing with Kevin Nealon and people are like, Kevin! Kevin! And I turn around and he's like, no, they're talking to me, you idiot. No, look, I was such a fan of the show myself.
Right.
So I get it. In fact, I don't know if I told you, I'm just now, about 3-4 weeks ago, I went back to the beginning and started watching The Office for the first time.
Are you critical of yourself watching it?
I don't care. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not
I watch myself when I'm doing shows and I'm like, oh, you're awful.
That's what I think when I watch you too. But about myself, why would I be self-critical? No, we used to actually get together in each other's houses to watch the show when it was starting out, and we were actually struggling at the very beginning, and so we watched them, and then we started watching them individually, but I had not gone back and watched any of the shows really,
right?
And certainly not all of them in order, which is what I've started to do. But that was 13 years ago.
Crazy.
We filmed the first episodes, and that's the other thing is when I get like young high school kids. Now, I walked out of a store the other day, and they're like, Kevin, and I'm like, you weren't born.
Listen, my son, who's 14,
right.
Their favorite show now is The Office. He's watching it on Netflix, and he loves pulling it up. He starts talking to me about it. They were so fired up when they found out that we were friends, and that's cool for you.
It's great. I know. And I think it's, it's a subversive show, right? So, I think it appeals especially to a younger demographic and people trying to figure out.
But everything's
lives.
so politically correct now, and that show was not.
Right.
And your character was not.
Yes, certainly not. Yeah. But it's been really fun to go back and storylines that I kind of forgot about, and just seeing people and
so when
friends.
your agent comes to you and he says, okay, I got this great part, and you're like, all right, tell me about it. And they said they want somebody it's remarkable how unremarkable he is. Right. And I think you're perfect for it.
Exactly. My agent is like, no, unremarkable. I've got the guy for you.
So do you take that like that you're happy that you have the job, or you're kind of like, well,
no.
I'm such a good actor, I can pull that off?
Yes, that for sure. Again, I was a fan of the British show, so I knew sort of. I was a huge fan of it and knew that it could be something really special. That's the thing that people also now don't realize when you've got, you had, 30 Rock and, the Curb Your Enthusiasm and other shows. There weren't network television shows that didn't have a laugh track, back then when we started, and the way that the show was shot with the moving camera, for a comedy, all of those things were rare. And so, I think it took people time to kind of get used to it, get accustomed to it, but ultimately it worked out. Little
did you know, like when you started, you said you didn't know how long you would last.
Sure.
That you were going to have to keep doing that voice and wear that haircut for like 9 years.
Yeah, the hair has not changed too much, but no, it was really long. It was long. My hair can get a little curly, so it was
like
long.
A Dutch boy haircut.
They used to. I know what a straight iron is as a straight man, because every morning they would straight iron my hair to give that little poof on the side.
That's awesome.
Do people expect you to talk like Kevin though when they see you in person for the real? Like, are they surprised that you're so how good of a performance you were really doing that whole time?
A, thank you. B, yeah. Sometimes. I now sometimes when I go in to have a meeting or something, I'll start and we'll have a 30-second conversation, and then I'll say okay, I'm going to start over at the beginning because I know you weren't listening to what I was saying. You were just thinking, oh my God, he doesn't sound like that. But yeah, no, it's look, it's all great. I was a huge fan of the show. The annoying thing for anyone watching is when someone will come up and be like, hey, will you leave my son, daughter a voicemail message?
So when I did that, you were mad at me when I did that?
So aggravated. God. Yeah.
Now, that was a pretty tight cast, though, right? You guys were pretty close, and you said you watched the show together, and there was a lot of writers that were on the show as well.
All of us are friends. We still talk about different, Rainn Wilson is a huge Seahawks fan. So during football season, we'll go back and forth. Oh, we do fantasy football. We've had a fantasy football office league. I think this is like maybe was
Brockman
year,
doesn't want to talk about any bets or anything like that. He lost the March Madness pool again for the third year in a row.
Really?
And he's got to wear clown
dress
makeup
up like a clown.
You have to wear a clown makeup
and go out here
and I have March sadness.
Right.
And so I have to walk around.
But I hear you've got mid-range, so
I have serious game, but
all right, bring it on anytime
it's not
you want.
in terms of picking
Now, how'd you do in
teams.
the Office Fantasy League? Have you won it?
You know what? I don't think I ever have. I'm sort of like always like in the second, third range. I don't think I've actually ever won it. Yeah. But I'm real good.
Are you? You're really good,
Yeah,
but you're like mid-range.
Yeah, I'm mid-range. Mid-range.
All right, we're going to talk to you more. Talk to you about March Madness, SMU breaking your heart. We'll talk to you about your Packers, Legion, because I know you're a big fan of that. Get into the golf a little bit. We'll talk about our golf game. I'm Jay Feely. You're watching
Anytime.
The Rich Eisen Show. We're going to be back with my buddy Brian Baumgartner. Welcome back to The Rich Eisen Show. Jay Feely. I'm here with Brian Baumgartner, my good buddy. You know him as Kevin from The Office, doing his new show, Hand of God, on Amazon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about March Madness. We've been talking about it the last 2 days. I know you and I texted back and forth about SMU. I had them beating Baylor. I had them going as – how far did you have them going?
I had them going all the way. Obviously.
You had them winning it?
No, not really. But yes,
Because that's how
I
my
did.
wife does it.
Yeah.
She had Michigan winning it all. Yeah. You went to SMU.
I went to SMU. Yeah.
So where did you – I want to know where you had them go. I had Michigan losing in the Elite Eight to Kansas.
I will tell you I had them beating Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. All right.
I will tell you that. Yeah. That's as far as I'll admit to.
Right.
But yeah, what a heartbreaker, man. I don't know. I was just reading about next year. Looks like, most of the guys are coming back, and we've got 4 new guys transfer that's supposed to be really good. And it's exciting.
So what years were you there? When were you in college?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you exactly
I
how
can
old
look
I
it
am.
up.
I know you can Google it. Early 90s.
Okay. So, I mean, were you a fan? Did you watch SMU? Were you a fan of like Eric Dickerson and all those guys?
Absolutely. They're a little bit older
No,
than me.
I understand that. Yeah. Putting that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see,
Eric
I admitted
especially.
earlier that I was a Duke fan before I went to Michigan.
And I heard that. And so
I was
am I.
rooting against Michigan
Right.
for Duke. But then a year later, I ended up going to Michigan, and I became a big Michigan fan.
So my dad went to Duke. So I spent my entire youth going to Duke.
Right.
And Duke, yeah. So Leitner, when
was a
that
hero.
happened, that was unbelievable.
It was one of the greatest moments of my remembering as a youth sporting moments. That stands out as maybe the best moment.
Yes. Well, and my signature call on the golf course is Vern Lundquist.
Yes.
My hero
Uncle Vern.
who called that game. Oh my
Uncle Vern
God,
is the best.
I love him.
Yeah. I'm going to be sad to not listen to him, to not hear him anymore. But it was cool listening to him do some of the college basketball games this year.
Awesome.
How'd you become a Packers fan?
They're a great organization.
How far back does that go, though?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Well, I have some friends who play for the team, and I went out there, and it becomes.
You don't want to name drop?
No, I'm not going to name drop.
Do it. Do it. Name drop.
No,
Clay
but once
Matthews.
you're in, right?
Right.
Like once you're, in and the environment and going to Lambeau and being in Green Bay.
What was your first trip to Lambeau? I remember my first trip.
I remember it.
Tell me about it.
You mean like what I did? Or,
No, like when did you go? When was that?
I would say probably 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't long. It wasn't long.
Right.
I mean, I grew up in Atlanta. I was a Falcons fan. But I mean, just the town and the ownership.
It's my
and,
favorite place in my career to go play as an away opponent. I loved going to Lambeau.
Why?
Because it's in the middle of this
Nothing.
little town, and you have houses everywhere, and everybody's parked in all the driveways, and you pull up, and you feel like you're back in the 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just something that's so pure about it. You don't feel like it's like we look at the Raiders. We've been talking about all day. They're leaving. They're going to Vegas,
Right.
and it's all about money. You don't feel that way when you're in Green Bay.
No. Well, you asked about my first trip. One of the very first things I did when I saw the stadium and I was driving around, and yeah, you're in a little neighborhood. I took a picture, which I have on my phone, of a play set, like a jungle
Right.
gym swing thing right there, and it just says Lambeau Field right above it. And you go like, where else in the world does this exist? And certainly not in the United States.
Okay, if you had one quarterback that you had to pick in a clutch moment, one Packers quarterback, you got Aaron Rodgers, your buddy, you got Brett Favre, You got Bart Starr.
Mm-hmm.
You have to drive to win the game. Who you picking?
Rogers.
Why? Not just because he's your friend.
No, because I think that because I think he's got it all. I mean, in terms of the mechanics that will not let him down. I think he's smart. I think that he's got the skill set, just pure athleticism.
If you need a Hail Mary, it's a given.
If you need a help at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
At the end of the game. Yeah, he's the best in the game.
Have you been playing golf your whole life? When did you start playing?
I didn't start until I was tennis.
Okay.
So
we haven't played tennis.
No, I'd kill you with that too.
Let's back up a second because you have not beat me straight up in golf. You want strokes. It was close.
Close.
You know, you played really well at Marshall's event, and you could not wait to bring me your card.
Yeah, because
and
I
for
knew
me,
I was going to
and you were getting strokes.
Oh, I knew
and you
I was
couldn't
gonna
wait to
smoke you.
get paid.
Well, yeah, but I didn't beat you straight up.
No, you didn't beat me straight up. Maybe today.
Well, hold on. What are we talking here? What are you looking at handicap-wise between the two of you guys?
Well, he cheats in terms of what he
how
says
do I
he
cheat?
is.
I put all my scores in there. If my handicap's too low, everybody says, "Oh, you got to put your high scores in there." If my handicap's too high, you're whining and complaining and saying I'm better than that.
Yeah, you're good.
I put my
You're
good
real
scores in there.
I'm a 9.
Okay,
I'm a
which is very
index. I'm a legit 9.
He's mad that I was up to a 3.2.
2. Oh, you're a 3 now?
Well, no, because I had that good round last week and that lowered it.
That's good for me.
That's right.
But I, as a 9, and I think he was even. Well,
you shot like 2 over,
and there were scorekeepers.
It was a tournament, right? Exactly. You had to put everything out.
I shot 3 over. Yeah.
3 over. He tore it up and shot 3 over, and
wow, that's impressive.
Was like a little kid waiting with his scorecard. Like, here you go.
I had it signed by the scorekeeper. Oh,
yeah, test. You got to test.
So you guys are playing today, right? So what are the stakes?
We haven't discussed it yet.
No,
let's talk it out right now.
I know.
We're gonna have something on the line. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a Twitter bet, as well as whatever we do financially. But we're gonna do a little Twitter bet.
Oh, the maize and blue.
No, like you're gonna have to do something.
Just so annoying.
You're gonna have to do something for me because I'm gonna beat you.
Really? Oh, okay. All right.
He asked me, he's like, "Can't you get anybody but a Michigan guest on this show?"
It's unbelievable with the helmet out there.
Well, that's rich.
I saw the list that you tweeted out. It's like Harbaugh and Woodson.
Charles Woodson. I tried to get Brady. I mean, I wanted to make Rich jealous that he was on vacation and not doing this show. I want him to miss the command center here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm your balance.
You're my balance?
Yeah, I'm your balance.
In what way?
I don't know. Well, a lot of ways. No, I'm your non-Michigan guy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
SMU.
And SMU will stand up against Michigan in all ways.
What's your favorite golf course that you've never played? Augusta?
National, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you think you would shoot at Augusta?
Oh, I mean, the pressure would be on because I would want to play my best round I've ever played.
Yeah.
And everybody who plays it says it's the putting. You can spray it there, but it's all about, not 3 putting, not being in the wrong places.
Right. I mean, the first time I played Pebble Beach, it was like doing the walk and the whole thing. And the caddy says, what's your handicap? What's your index? And I tell him, and he goes, okay, well, just forget about that today. Because what he's saying is there's something about being here and you're seeing shots that you've watched on television and wanting to replay and think that you're better than you are, whatever people do. I kind of imagine it might be the same thing.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
I also might shoot 67 just because.
You hold out on number 4 at Pebble Beach when I was playing with you one time.
Oh, yeah.
You did.
I did.
One of your best shots, I'm sure, ever.
Yes.
I love Pebble Beach. I absolutely love playing there. Cypress is my number 1 course that I've ever played, and Pebble Beach would be right up there, maybe number 2. I just love being on the ocean and all the views.
Right. It's unbelievable.
What's your favorite course?
Pretty bold take there, Jay. I love Pebble Beach.
Well, you know what? I will tell you, though, there are some people who try to discount it. You'll talk to a golfer. It's not that good.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that great. I'm
Idiots.
like, what are you talking about? it doesn't get any better. You're walking up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all along the ocean. It's just phenomenal.
Well, and history is a part of it, right? Like,
sure, absolutely.
Like you walk into, we're talking about Duke. You walk into Cameron Indoor Stadium. It might not be the newest, ritziest, most beautiful place ever.
Right.
But there's that, there's
you got the Cameron Crazies and
Lambeau Field, another probably better example, right? I mean, it's not Jerry World in Dallas, but there's something about that history there too. And so I think to not take that into account with Pebble Beach is.
And that's why Augusta would be so special, because you would think about all the great shots and the bad shots and where people lost it. And, you think about all the great people who've been through there, and the iconic shots like Phil Mickelson on 13 and Spieth dumping it on 12, and you go all the way back. I mean, that's what's so special about that course, is because it goes all the way back to Bobby Jones, and you remember all the shots that people did, and Jack Nicklaus winning, the Masters at 46. I mean, it's just, that encapsulates it.
Yeah. I wouldn't think about the bad shots. I would just want to replicate.
You're such
the
a
great
liar.
ones.
I know, because I played with you. I know when you get going and you start thinking about the negatives. Like today, that's what's going to happen.
This is unreal.
He's already getting in your head.
I know. He's trying.
So awesome to have you on. I'm such a fan of yours, not only on TV and what you do, but just as a person. One of the great guys. It's funny because a lot of times you and I disagree politically, but we've had conversations. Like, we can respect each other, respect each other's opinion, communicate with each other, even though we have disagreements. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you coming on. It's awesome to have Brian Baumgartner on The Rich Eisen Show. I'm Jay Feely.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.